Welcome everybody, I'm Burner. This is the Walking Dead Road to Survival, and we're gonna do our regular raid and randomness stream. But since there is a raid tournament going on, I'm gonna give some tips because a lot of the big questions, especially for newer players, is how are those people at the top getting so many raids so quickly? How do they reach so high? I'm going to cut through some of the basic stuff right off the bat and say a lot of it's not a mystery. It's time and it's just tedious repetition. You have to be steady going, and also you need a strong team. If your team is to the point where it takes you 5 or 6 rounds to win every raid, it's going to be very hard for you to be competitive. You need to have a team of quick ARs that are popping at least third round, which you'll see is where my team is. Most of my matches will end pretty close to the third. Some people are able to adjust their ARs with boosting, with leadership skills, weapon upgrades, to actually start doing damage, serious damage in round two. And then, I mean, you can pretty much just throw it on auto and tap the screen. As we go through it, I'll throw some of those tips out as we go, just to kind of let you guys know what I do for speed. I managed to trick the my streaming app into letting me start on this screen, which if you saw sort of my heads up video about this event, I wasn't able to click in on the prizes, but here you can see first place we have Fast Tyrese, and then Alert Kane, and then down there to Brianna, who is, a pretty quality support walker character. But I feel like a lot of them, I already have one, so I feel like a lot of them came out a while back, and they're not quite as, rare or sought after as they probably once were. See if we can tap on anything. Man, what is up? This has been happening ever since Scopely's last large update, the one where they were promising like new stuff and then nothing kind of crazy came out. But yeah, every time I stream, I have problems interacting. Here we can at least see Kane. He is a pretty quality alert. I mean, alerts always have that issue of being alert with so many hard-hitting blues out there. Andrea, obviously, I don't really need to say it, but just to make sure we cover it. You can look at his adrenaline rush here, marked for murder, recharge of 56. He deals 300 to 1 and all adjacent. All teammates get 35 max HP and recover from attack and defense penalties. I mean, that is very quality support to be running on a range team. It's pretty hard to make an all alert team feasible. But I mean, he's really quality. You don't have a lot of upper level 5-star reds that do AoE damage, so he's very rare in that case. And he's pretty quality for a second here. Why won't it let me click in this area, you mother? Yeah, it just won't let me activate Tyrese here. It's dual axe Tyrese. You guys are playing the game. Open yours up and see what he looks like. And then we also have Brianna. Like I said, good support walker with this adrenaline rush. It does all teammates get 60 crit for 2 turns, recharge 30% of max HP, and recover from penalties. And then she also has command. So she does have some limited ability in a normal melee or fast raid team with the penalty recovering and the HP. The problem is 30 HP just isn't really a whole lot at the upper ends of competitiveness to kind of be wasting a slot on in your raid team, is why I think of her mostly as a good walker support. But melee commands are pretty slim too. A little bit of a boost there. I mean, it kind of depends on what your strategy is. If you have some good fast ARs and you're using her to maybe get some shots off on round two, it could be worth it. But most of the defense teams I at least see her on, doesn't really give me any trouble, especially with that 30% heal. I mean, you can almost let her heal and it shouldn't really affect your outcome. Um, let's see. We got a couple people trickling in. How's it going, everybody? Don't be shy. Feel free to comment. And since it's a raid tournament, we are going to get to it. Let's see what kind of tips I can have. for the most part, you can expect I'm going to be kind of raiding as fast as I can, um, just because, like I said, raid tournaments are all about getting, putting in time and getting successful raids in. So a lot of it's just tedious tapping and kind of running your scheme. Um, and after a while, it takes so many raids to, get in these top prizes that usually, by the point that you're up there, you will have seen sort of the same sort of iterations of teams so many times, um, that, I mean, you don't even really think, oh man, it's not letting me tap down there. That might cut into it. We're going to get away with this one. So one of them is, you see I got down to one player, uh, and if you tap, you see how fast these animations are going on adrenaline rushes. If you don't know yet, if you tap the screen during an adrenaline rush, it will speed up the animation. And that, it doesn't seem like a lot probably, but over hundreds of raids, it kind of makes a difference. So anytime somebody has an adrenaline rush going off, just lightly tap the screen and it'll kind of speed it up. As you can see, it'll save you a tiny bit of time. Um, it's killing me that I can't click down low. Um, that's slowing me up a bit, but that's all right. I think I'll be able to manage. I doubt I'll lose too many because of it, but it is slowing me up a bit. Being able to interact with your entire screen is definitely helpful. Yeah, I can't. It won't let me get down there for whatever reason. This is going to make it run a lot longer than it should because of it. Um, yeah, and then kind of just having a general strategy with your team. Knowing your team well helps with raids. Again, tapping the screen during this rewards thing speeds it up. And again, like all these kind of tiny little micro speed ups, they add up. They'll add up to, minutes, if not tens or dozens of minutes of screen time. So try and get them out of the way as much as you can. I think I'll be able to hit this middle guy. Come on. There we go. Yeah, I even have a little trouble getting into the middle there, which is very annoying. One of the things I love doing is this right here where you have this triangle, especially with my AoE counterparts, because you can basically just do their rush. You don't have to click on anybody. They're going to hit the same people, because in a triangle, it doesn't matter which one they attack, it's going to affect all the enemies in that triangle. So another little piece. And then you can see down to one, I'm just flipping it on auto, tapping the screen, trying to make things go as quickly as I can. What else? Oh, flipping it on auto. So you have to remember, when you're raiding, especially for a raid event, it's not like war where you're trying to maximize like team survivability. For a raid event like this, you just want to win, and you want to win as fast as you can. So it doesn't matter if you have one or two guys die. You just want to ensure that you get a win, because making the most of your energy is also important, especially if you have a really competitive region where a lot of people run after the top events or the top rewards regularly. The tiniest things make a difference. The amount of time you're able to put in makes a difference. The efficiency with which you use your energy makes a difference. You guys have followed me long enough. I'm not pay to play. Uh, so, I have whatever resources I've built up is what I have to use. And if I use them inefficiently, it gets down to crunch time, I'll just run out and somebody can pass me by. So, always making the most of your energy is important. Uh, Hopefully I'll remember that, and as soon as this gets done, I'll give an example of another way you can maximize your energy. But you can see here, we're almost through. I think it's the last one in our can, um, and then we'll have to reload. But you can kind of see how it goes. It would be a little bit faster if I could click some of the places, because in the tougher matches, it is important to be able to maximize your strategy. All right, I'm going to pause real quick. We'll refill. All right, we're back. The only reason I did that is that some people in my region do actually um, see my channel. They've watched some of my videos. I don't know if I'm going to be making a run at first, but just in case, I don't want them to specifically know exactly how many cans I have set up. So yeah, let's get into it. But we got refilled. Another one I was going to talk about is choosing your opponent. So if you know that there's a specific lead that is bad for you, or that is generally giving away a team that is going to be difficult for you, spend your money to bypass whatever that is. So you can see here it's a blue team, it's Andrea. I don't expect it to be any trouble. Usually the only things that give me a lot of trouble are red heavy teams and strong red heavy teams. So like 5-star reds, really quality reds. Anything else, I pretty much don't worry about. But if there's a specific team or a specific leader that tends to give you trouble, or that certain people in your region run, and you want to avoid those teams, it's worth hitting, find new opponent here and going over to another team, because again, you're trying to maximize every drop of those resources you can. I don't have an issue. We'll go straight into this one. So this is kind of typical of what we're seeing a lot now. I might even go as far to say it's the current meta in the game, and by that I just mean it's sort of a classic team that you see a lot of. And right now, it's double revive Jesus and some number of Andreas. Sometimes it is just both Jesuses and then like 3 Andreas. Sometimes it is like 2 Jesuses, 2 Andreas, and then another character like you see here with Richard, or some tougher ones like Cooper that sort of bring something else to the match. But right now, I'm seeing so much of that sort of setup of you know uh, people, because they were both free. It makes sense to get 2 revives. It does give you a lot, but they're sort of easy to beat if you are lucky enough, I'll say, to have good melee characters like I am. Definitely lucky. Um, a lot of those teams just become more annoying than anything to really fear. Depending, like I was saying, with the strength, it can be troublesome if there's a good shield with them. I find that that's probably the toughest setup, is to revive Jesus, like 2 Andrea, and then like a quality shield, like a Conrad, or Conrad's probably the biggest one. Maybe even a Garrett with good boost. One of the shields that I really hate to meet is Garrett with great boost, where he's doing his AR like right before you can kill him, so he's constantly giving himself nearly full health. That can be pretty troublesome. But I mean, biggest one's obviously Conrad with absolute defense, especially if they have the rest of their team really well set up with good boost weapons. What I find makes it difficult is usually you can't kill one of the other ones in the first turn before the shield goes up, and then you start, if that stupid absolute defense hits. You start missing boosting your AR, and then they basically start popping AR off before you do, which can really throw your plans right out the window. So I find those to sort of be the tougher. And I think that I would consider that probably the meta in the game right now that you'd see the most for higher level players, or pay to play players that have really quality tunes. You'll see them mixing Jesus with a quality shield, whereas a lot of free to play people will have more of the Jesus with some level of Andrea setup. You definitely see those a lot. Yeah, the whole right side of my screen's dead. I don't know if you guys could see that. The animation went pretty slow. I'm kind of bumbling this one up, kind of talking. I guess I didn't really pay attention to the composition. Multitasking, man, it'll mess you up. What else? Uh, what are we? If you're making a run at an event, as always, you want to do a little bit of a research beforehand and know kind of the activity level of your region. You don't want to waste stuff. You don't want to be disappointed. Let me put it that way. Nothing's more frustrating than putting in the time, saving up the resources, and then coming up short. It kind of can hit the motivation pretty hard. So do your due diligence. Know when you have a good shot. For me, work has gotten in the way so much with raid events because they're usually during the week. I hardly ever have a raid event where I am off for the majority of the event. Oh, there we go. Um, and so having this 1 day flash event, I was like, well, I'll put in some time. We'll see what it looks like, and I'm gonna kind of play it from ear. If it looks like I have a shot, maybe I'll be lucky enough to give it a go. But if not, I might finish pretty high. I think it'll probably be easy for me to snag another one of these Briannas, which I don't really want or need. So I won't. I mean, but I'm okay with getting her. At the worst, it's been a while since I made a run at a level up. So if I get another Brianna, at least give me something for a level up. Anytime you can get a free 5 star, it's worth it, guys, because it'll just allow you to make that step to the next 5 star. If you heard me on some of my other videos talking about building your roster. Once you get a 5 star and then you get a second one, before you know it, man, you're starting to put 5 star teams together. So anytime you can get a 5 star, do it. It's only going to make getting more 5 stars easier. So take advantage of it and try and get those expectations to never be disappointed. Because when it stops being fun, there's no point in playing. Here we go. Here's a good example. They got a Shane lead here. Shane is a quality leader. His AR is pretty all right. It's a great boost. As a defense, it's not super OP. You usually get by it pretty easily. Um, but because I'm trying to make the most of my resources, I'm just going to pop past him. There's no need for me to go into it if I know it's going to be a challenge. And I do mean that. If you think it's going to be a challenge, skip past it. You want to go as fast as you can. You want easy matches that are going to give you high numbers of trophies. I mean, you do want to max out. 17 is. I think you can get 18 with the S2, but there's not enough of them out there to advise that you search for one. But definitely try to keep hitting 17 trophy teams. Hey, Carol Flaunt, long time no videos. Yeah, man. I say it nearly every time I put a video up. I'm trying to get back on track. Part of it is I get videos put together, when I'm not streaming them. It takes me a while to sit down and do them. And sometimes if it takes me too long to do them, I don't want to put them up late because, nobody wants to watch something about my advice on a tune that they can't get anymore. I've thought about doing it just so we, I've said it before for posterity's sake, just so we have something there in case a tune comes back up. If you use my channel to kind of help you research in the game, you can kind of go back and look at it. I thought about doing that, but I feel bad when I put stuff up that isn't really relevant. That's why I streamed the earlier video instead of sort of doing my usual record and sort of edit in some graphics and stuff. I decided just stream it out there, give everybody the heads up that it's going to be a short tournament and that it's active. But hey, thanks for dropping in. I appreciate it as always. Anyway, I mean, I am still playing the game. I do still care. But man, it's just been a busy life schedule. Let's just say that busy life schedule. What we got? We got one more, and then we'll reload real quick. It is so frustrating that I'm realizing now that I'm doing this video that I actually attack the bottom row first a lot, just because it's my first initial reaction. I'm noticing that I'm trying to do is select one of the tunes down here on the bottom. Never really kind of paid attention or noticed that before, but it is evident now. And I just broke that up, son of a monkey. That's all right. See if we can get down there. There we go. Yeah, so kind of just trying to use my ARs to attack where I want to, which is pretty frustrating. I don't know why it's the right side is dead. If you saw the earlier video, if I flip it, it's still the right side's a dead side of the screen. So that's a little frustrating. All right, I'm going to pause it real quick and reset these raid cans. Don't go anywhere. Boom. That's how quick it is. We're back. And we have more images. So, what is it? Make sure you guys can still see this because it's not showing me my stream health. I hate when I can't work what I want to work here. Oh, there it was. I saw it. Good enough for me. We're back. We got more energy. Let's kick it off. Nice little blue team. Oh, man. Yeah, it's frustrating because I do kind of want to get at least one of these Andreas out of the way, but we'll kind of deal with it. I think as long as they don't get Glenn, it should still be. Well, there we go. Son of a bitch. Ah, well, you know, it wouldn't be a burner raid video if I didn't lose my ass every now and then. I still think I might be able to squeak out of here. But yeah, that was pretty funny. And I'm still going to try and do this as fast as possible. I mean, I do have matches where, it'll look like I'm coming up short, and I'll actually just flee them again because speed's so much. At some point, I'm going to go to sleep. I do, want to put in as much time as I can, but I'm not going to drive myself ragged over a game. Even if I did get this Tyrese, it's not going to, drastically change the game that much that it's worth me feeling like crap. But, as long as I can get some naps in, we'll be good. There's that Carl. Carl would be nice. Carl would have fit into my teams really well. I think you guys have heard me talking about that. I forget what event they had him in. All I remember is I wasn't really prepared for it. I wish I had been. This green Carl with neutralize. He's area of effect, as you just saw. Really quality tune. He would fit in my team really well. He would change some stuff up. But yeah, he's pretty hard to get. I don't think he's been featured in Premier Recruits in a while, probably since he first dropped. I mean, he's still available in there as a random pickup, but he hasn't, garnered any of the increased chances to drop. And I think that just that one event's the only time I've seen him as a reward. But definitely really quality, especially being one of only 2 strong neutralize, and the other one is Nox, who just recently got put in the game and who was very much a purchase tune, unfortunately. Yeah, this one might be troublesome because Davy can be a mother, and I'm not really able to pick who I'm attacking right now. I guess I could have got this Wandy out of the way, but kill somebody. Yeah, we'll get the Wanderer out after this little diversion that got put on me by old Mirabelle. So we'll at least get this out of the way. I tell you what, this dead side of the screen is really making this a little bit more difficult. I hope you guys appreciate that. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. What do we got? Any comments out there? Any questions in the world? What about you, Carol? Besides the long time no videos, how's everything going your way? What do you think about this new little, I'm calling it a flash event just because I don't know what else to call it. I'm not sure if Scopely used any special wording on it, but we've kind of been seeing these. There was that twofer they did the other day in the middle of that level up tournament where they gave us a really truncated raid tournament as well. So I don't know if this is something they're starting to think about doing to kind of keep interest up, or maybe to make things more competitive. Honestly, I think one of the most competitive things they could do to make people use resources and therefore potentially purchase more is to make all 3 of the 5-star rewards quality tunes that people wanted. I honestly think that would see so much more competition, because even in this one, these first 2 are really quality, but then, there's a little bit of disappointment if you're going for 1 or 2 and you get Brianna, that is such a huge drop off from the other 2. So I think if they've made, a really quality, one and then two and then a solid support for three through seven, you would see so many people be up there and fighting. Because as it is now, you'll get a few people that are kind of knocking it out for one or two, but as soon as it kind of becomes evident who the lead competition is going to be, some of them are sort of drop back because they know they at least have seventh, and then you get maybe a couple at the bottom, say 8 or 9, maybe out to 10, who are kind of just going to be hanging on and trying to squeeze in at the bottom and use the least amount of resources to get top seven. But I think if you made, top seven really competitive, you could probably push it out to maybe like the top 20 would be competing for those spots. At least I know I would be more competitive for it. Carol has a comment. What do we have? Smooth, what's your opinion on those tutor tunes like Governor and Maggie? Yeah, I think the Governor one I did a video on, and it hasn't changed much. I like that Scopely is trying to introduce uh, new things into the game. So I think these the tactical leader skills like tutor are really quality. I like that they're trying to put innovative thought into the game, put things into the game that we haven't seen. Unfortunately, there's not a lot of value there for experienced players. Like I've been playing this game not since it came out, but pretty close. I started within the first year, probably within the first 6 months. So I have like a year and a half, close to 2 years in the game, and I don't need XP for anything. Leveling up a tune is not an issue I have. Uh, you know, I for me, tutor isn't worth um, isn't worth spending money on because I just don't need that feature. Um, but if I was new to the game, having that would be so quality, especially during level up events. That would be, I would think, one of the best things about it is to run a team during a level up event. So when you are down on resources, you could still be getting experience through. I forget if it's raids or missions. I apologize, it's slipping my mind right now. But you could be using other resources in order to churn up XP. I guess in that sense, it would be interesting to have one, to have either the Governor or Maggie, and kind of see what sort of boost that would give my performance in a level up event. But other than that, I mean, I usually don't have issues with coming up with resources. If I'm going to make a run at a level up, I do good preparation. If I just want to level up a new tune that I got that I feel like is going to improve my team, I'll just level them up. I mean, I don't think the tutor tactical skill would make that any faster. That's the only thing I could think about. If you're new though, it would be quality to have, and I'm sure because you would use it your entire experience or from early in the game, it would you somebody who did get it early in the game would kind of know how best to use it and maybe know whether or not it's even worth what I theoretically think it is. I think its biggest purpose, if the return is high enough, would be for a level up event. I mean, that would almost be a sleeper way to get points fast. The thing I don't know about it, because I don't have one, is how high the XP return is, on missions. But if it made a substantial impact to experience, I mean, that could potentially make the difference in how you placed in a level up event. So I think that is probably its biggest worth right there. Not necessarily leveling up, your tunes in order to help you progress in the game, but as a sort of a competitive edge in a level up tournament. That's actually really interesting now that I think about it. It would be kind of nice to have one to play with and be able to better give you advice on whether or not that's really feasible. Because, Scopely is a little stingy sometimes. So I could honestly see that maybe the XP return is so small that it would take you running, non-stop to get very little return, that maybe it wouldn't be worth it. An interesting thing is, though, it would allow you to attack objectives like a crazy person. Um, so, so many of the objectives are just level based. Usually the fourth slot is an AR return. But, I mean, you can set your team up to specifically attack specific objectives, not need any food whatsoever, and potentially knock those out. And completing objectives is one of the best ways at getting points. Obviously, having a huge stable of 5 stars, I think, will always be the best way to attack a level up tournament and have your best shots at winning. But man, being able to, take a team and fit it to specifically meet your objective needs, and then again, I forget if it's raids or if it's running stages. Part of me thinks that it's running stages. I don't know why, because I think it's in the tactical skill. Um, but yeah, I mean, you could really boost your output and objective completion, and that would be crazy helpful. What do you got? Well, I pulled for fun a 10-pack. First tune was 5-star Tutor Maggie. She's a beast with this elusive and stats combined with Andrea. Did few tests, and those shields are gone. Nice. Even Conrad's almost done her 2 times. Very nice. Yeah. I mean, if she's doing well for you in support, that's a bonus as well. I do know. Oh man, I need to pull up her card. I wish I had my files open right now. Unfortunately, I'm just kind of streaming. Sometimes when I put together more set videos, I can kind of access some information, but I don't think I have anything pulled up. I'll tell you what I can do, though. I can kind of go look at one of my old videos. Bear with me here. I know we're not seeing much, and we're kind of just watching this team turnover here. But yeah, let's take a peek. Let's find out. I know I did the governor video. The biggest thing I want to know is whether or not it is when you get the tutor bonus. Nice. Stream. Wow, did I not? Tactical leader Michonne. Well, hell. I tell you what we can do. Let's jump into recruits and rewards, and we should be able to see them pop by. So there's Hunter. He's being premiered. Yeah, Cal. Hopefully they're not too deep, because nothing is more boring than watching the Wheel of Disappointment here. Yep, man, they're gonna be buried. That's all right. I got patience. If you got patience, we'll see where they're at. It'll at least let you guys check out the Wheel of Disappointment if it's been a while since you watched through it. It's been a while since I have. I've joked around and think it's something I'm gonna do. I might put up like a weekly video or maybe bi-weekly of just the Wheel of Disappointment here, and then speed it up so you can kind of sit down and see what's in here. Because in general, they show you everything that's a possibility, but a lot of times, I mean, you just don't sit through it long enough to have any clue of what's still in there and what's sort of been phased out. There's that new shield, Garrett. Glenn, yeah. I mean, if you just got one, she has to be in here. Well, there's our Tyrese. That would be nice to have. Pretty quality. That neutralize. Oh, Doc Stevens is still in the wheel. Man, been holding strong. Remember when he came out? Would have been nice to get him. That's why it's the Wheel of Disappointment. You get reminded of all these characters you did not get. Here comes the governor. So let's take a peek. Tutor, melee. All teammates get a XP. Oh, from raids. Well, that kind of limits it a little bit. The fact that it's raids as opposed to running the map, because it would cost more resources, and I try to keep the two separate uh, in the sense that if you're kind of the one of the two best ways to get a 5 star as a free to play player is to place high in an event, in a level up event or in a raid event. And if you're kind of having to burn both to get to win like a level up event, it's pretty costly, I would say, because one of the best things about it is you can sort of alternate the two. It does take usually a long amount of time to get the resources, but it sort of keeps you having a goal by being like, okay, I just did this level up. How long until I feel like I can maybe go for a top 7 in raids, and then you do a raid, and it kind of keeps you kind of involved, and like I said, gives you fun, sort of gives you a sense of accomplishment. So to be using both of those resources at the same time, which you would do to take the most of this tutor skill, might be a high cost, especially again because I don't know what the XP return actually is. Um, I'll have to search around, maybe see if anybody's done any articles, posts, or maybe videos about that. But I mean, if the XP return is high enough, it still might be a good way to just give you a little bit of boost. I mean, you're obviously going to be regenerating free energy, that you could kind of piece in there along a level up tournament, which if it's high enough would add up. And again, you'd be able to very easily specifically go after your objectives, which would be really nice. But it's still kind of limited. Let's see if this Maggie comes up, just because I don't remember her AR. But I mean, if she's working for you, all for it, man. A lot of this game is obviously you do need quality tunes, but so much of it is getting enough tunes that work together well. I mean, you can get by with a lot of things you can obtain free to play if they have a real good synergy. I believe this is her, right? Yeah. So she does 375 to a line. All teams get focus. Yeah, that focus is huge. And now I definitely see what you mean about her helping out against the shields. Focus is one of the best features that they've put in to help sort of balance the whole need for a shield. Um, Having focus gives your team such a greater ability to reach its maximum potential, like just on straight numbers, if you know what I mean. Because a lot of teams are just hindered because you never get to maximize like their damage, because you're always being forced to, go after this shield, especially if it's Conrad or a Michonne with absolute defense. I mean, that really just tears the strategy apart. So yeah, having this focus is amazing. If you could put that together with a command tune, I don't know if that's what you're doing, but if you could command her to go in round 2 and then just unload. It sounds like you run her with Andrea, which seems like would be one of the most amazing things. A lot of people, the way they get by it, a lot of shields, is by running a command with an Andrea to Eagle Eye early. But yeah, I think if you have one Andrea or multiple Andreas and focus, you can easily kind of let it go another round and not necessarily need a command, and sort of still get the same effect out of it if you're smart with your early attack before the shield goes up. So yeah, I mean, she's real quality. The focus in itself is worth its weight in gold. Being able to attack a line is pretty solid at 45 AP, which means that you can kind of lead with her before damage has been done and kind of guarantee there is a line to attack as opposed to single individual tunes. So yeah, I mean, she looks amazing. The tutor, I just don't know if there's much there because it's sort of yeah, so that's interesting. They have these tutors set up differently. I'm realizing now that hers is in war battles. So yeah, I mean, like as far as thinking of alternative uses for value in her, she's not even going to really be able to help you in a level up, because I can't think of a level up tournament that's ran been run in conjunction during a war weekend. So I doubt you would ever have her help you out in a level up event, which is kind of sad. That means Tutor's just going to help you level up tunes. And during war, when you're basically trying to run your best team in order to, get the most points, it would be pretty hard to see that there's a lot of use there, just because you don't ideally want to be running tunes that aren't completely leveled up. So, yeah, I'm not very sold on this Tutor skill. But Maggie, just as herself, that adrenaline rush looks very solid. I did a video. Maybe I'll just get it put up. I did a video on her. I didn't get it put up because she was up pretty short term. I feel like it was like a day and a half. And like I talked about earlier, I didn't want to put something up after the fact, but maybe I will. I talked about her. She looks like a quality support. If you're running a rainbow, an alert team, or a range team, I would definitely try to fit her in somewhere with that focus. The damage is good there at 375. She's hitting it over 900 on attack. So there should probably be a spot for her in most teams that would run, traits where she'd be useful. What do we got? We got one more. We're going to go one more raid, call it a night. I got to get some fast times going, so I need to be able to use this side of my screen. So we'll cut it a little short, but we'll bust one more out here. What does she got? She does have absolute defense. This might be annoying with this revive quality shield here and me not being able to attack specifically where I want to. Yep, she's already freaking pissing me off. We're going to hold up. Oh, I can't believe Lee can't get one off. 61 XP. Not worth it. Tested, it's not effective at all. Yeah, 61 wouldn't be worth it. If it's the same... Oh, man, they just got... Damn it. If it's the same for the raid... raid return on Tutor for the governor... Yeah, it's not worth it at all, honestly. It wouldn't be worth it in a level up event. Am I about to lose this? Son of a bitch. I really want to attack somewhere. Oh my god. I guess we'll do this. Yeah, it's frustrating that I can't pick this bottom line because I just wasted. God bless it. Oh, come on. Yeah, I'm gonna lose this. I can't fucking attack where I need to. That's a pain in the ass. Yeah, I should probably just flee this. We're gonna try and pull this out of the ashes, but I don't think it's gonna happen. That's probably the end of it. Yep. God damn it. It won't let me attack this bottom fucking row. Sorry about the language, guys. I'm really frustrated. God bless it. Yeah, I mean, Shiva doesn't have it. Let's get out of here. That's a waste of time. Well, I was able to pull out with this dead spot on most of them, but of course we're going to end it there with the usual burner one raid fuck up. Oh, God, I don't know what Scopely did with this last update, but man, the fact that it has affected me being able to attack where I want during raids when I stream is a little bit annoying. Anyway, guys, if you have any comments about anything we talked about, or just anything to add, if you're running after any of these tunes in the this flash raid event, go ahead and let me know about it. Let me know how your progress is going. As always, if you guys like it, hit the button. If you're new and you want to see more, go ahead and subscribe. And I'll try to keep it more regular. I do enjoy anytime I get to do this, so it's always fun.